what is considered a luxury car? Is it beautiful looks, a gorgeous paint, a fast 0 to 100, or perhaps a luxurious interior made out of premium materials? Actually, for the most part, luxury in the modern world is mostly based on perception, such as the branding, the image. But in the case of Mazda, it simply used to mean an elevated experience over mainstream cars. Now in 2023, it now means an objectively better car from the ground up. As the first model in their new premium rear-wheel drive architecture, Mazda is finally entering a new luxury era with their first ever Mazda CX-60.
So what you're seeing here is the new Mazda CX-60, which is the brand's first entry into their premium or luxury aspiration. So as you can see, this is a vehicle that now really has strong rear-wheel drive proportion. So you have such a long hood, a short rear deck, and you have those short overhangs, which really highlights the car's true rear-wheel drive proportion. So before, their cars more of had this rear-wheel drive look, pero alam naman natin it's front-wheel drive. But here it's really a rear-wheel drive architecture that's made from the ground up to be able to accommodate various electrification technologies. So in the case of these two cars, they're both mild hybrids with both an inline-6 engine. In the case of this white variant though, it's a 3.3-liter gas engine, and in the red, it's a 3.3-liter inline-6 diesel engine. So from their designs, they look pretty similar. Of course, the red one's a sport and the white one's the, I guess, standard is a misnomer because, well, there's nothing standard about this because this looks really good. But nevertheless, you have two choices whether you want something that looks sporty or you want something that looks elegant. From the outside, you have this bold 5-point grille as usual of Mazda's design language. But here in the red car, it's done in black, which personally I would prefer because of the mesh effect. Then here in the white car, you have a more elegant grille design with a more elegant wheel design as well to match the exterior of the car. So down the sides, very clean lines. You're gonna see that there's basically no visual noise ruining the car's looks. And you also have fewer chrome details on the sides of the red car compared to the white car because the red car is the sport. So you have gloss black trims. But in the case of the white car, the 3.3 gas, you have chrome detailing on in the windows. So moving towards the back, they're again pretty similar, but these two cars look really great whichever trim you choose. This now competes with cars like the Lexus NX, the BMW X3, and basically this represents Mazda's beginning in a new, more luxurious and premium direction. So I think it's a good time for us to step inside the new Mazda CX-60. So now that we're here inside the new Mazda CX-60, and wow, we're gonna be greeted to an interior that's really true luxury talaga. So it's not anymore elevated over the mainstream, kundi talagang it's really a true luxury car interior. So for this sport variant that we're here inside ngayon, you're gonna see suede in your dash, and dito sa seats actually, you're gonna see a generous amount of brown suede on the doors. Then there's, wow, the materials used here guys are really amazing in the CX-60, and it's a really true luxury Napa leather interior. You have this two-tone finish of steering wheel na very Bentley-esque sa totoo lang. Black headlining, and then you have the first ever panoramic sunroof for a Mazda. Pero anyway, yun nga, the materials are exquisite. There's no gloss black plastic pa nga. That's what I'm impressed here sa interior na to. There's no gloss black plastic. And as with every Mazda design philosophy, woohoo! physical controls for the climate controls and the infotainment system. Let's go. I want that always in a car. So yeah, that's why I'm really a fan of Mazda interiors, because they're user-friendly, very luxurious. And speaking of the tech, so again, whichever variant you choose, they're pretty much the same. So you have a 12.3-inch instrument cluster and a 12.3-inch main infotainment screen. So yung the gauge cluster, very customizable yung kanyang infotainment. It's the same second generation Mazda Connect that you've seen in the Mazda CX-30 and the Mazda 3. So it's controlled via the wheel dito sa center console, and the good thing about it is yun nga, you have a giant armrest na ngayon, so it's very second nature to use the controller using the armrest ngayon. And yun nga, very easy to use infotainment system, and one of the key highlights of the new CX-60 is yung kanyang driver personalization system. So basically, here you're able to link your face to the car settings, and with that said as well, let's go to the driver personalization system menu. Add new driver. So yun nga, it's gonna register your face. I'm gonna input my height. So yeah, it's setting my driving position based on the stuff I inputted. And the driving position is now set. It's a bit too upright for my preference, so I'm gonna adjust this a bit. So totoo lang. Driving position adjustment. Save. Okay. Turn your head and alternate between looking at the left and right outside mirror. So driver recognition complete. So my face is now embedded in the CX-60. Lalang share ko lang. Amazing. So yun nga, that's a driver personalization system. Lovely interior. You have a wireless Apple CarPlay as well and Android Auto. Yung nga lang, the Android Auto part is wired, and then you also have a 12-speaker Bose surround sound system, which of course sounds amazing. So what else that's worth talking about here? So safety. So you have the full set of advanced driver assistance tech branded as iActive Sense in the case of Mazda. So you have the usual automatic braking, active cruise control, lane departure warning, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, blah 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 blah. You know the gist with those advanced driver assistance features. Yun nga lang, like in past Mazdas, wala pa rin siyang stop and go function for the adaptive cruise control. Sabi nila it's because of Mazda Japan being stubborn in offering that feature to the Philippines, pero yun nga, sayang lang. Anyway, it's a complete package. It's a fully loaded car at this point, and I think it's a good time for us to move to the back seats ngayon of the Mazda CX-60. So now that we're here at the back of the Mazda CX-60, and it's a incrementally bigger car compared to the CX-5 and incrementally smaller then compared to the CX-8. So it's measuring at about 4.7 meters long as opposed to 4.9 meters and 4.5 meters for the CX-8 and CX-5 respectively. So what you get here at the back is this seat is in my driving position as you've seen kanina with driver personalization system, and there's, I guess for its size, not the best amount of room. The RAV4 pa nga has more room, even if that's a bit of a smaller car compared to the CX-60. Pero I fit perfectly fine. I mean, minsan kasi comfort is dictated by people in terms of space, but for me kasi it's more of a combination of space and the actual comfort of the seats, and that's where the CX-60 excels. So you have good amount of thigh support, even if yun nga, it's not the best in terms of rear seat space, but yun nga, it's still pretty good for me. Magandang legroom ko. Headroom's really good as well, even if you have the panoramic sunroof, and it's a wide car, wider than the CX-8 and CX-5, so you're really able to sit 3 adults here nang walang problema. Apart from that, you have 2 USB-C ports sa likod, and well, yeah, actually that's pretty much it in terms of amenities here at the back, apart from, of course, the usual center armrest. Yeah, of course, yung mga aircon vents din. So let's talk about the engine. So as mentioned nga kanina, there are a couple of inline 6 engines here in the CX-60. In the case of the Sport that we're in ngayon, it's the 3.3-liter turbocharged inline 6 diesel. In terms of sound, I prefer the gas. The gas kasi has like that GR Supra-ish or BMW straight 6 signature engine note. But I mean, it's not a BMW engine, by the way, as in it's really Mazda's own engine, which really, you know, begs you the question on why Toyota was not able to make their own inline 6 despite being a much bigger company compared to Mazda. So speaking of engines, I'm pretty sure you want to hear how the inline 6 engines sound. And without further ado, here are the engine startup notes of the CX-60. In terms of spec, they're even nga, as mentioned. It's a matter of choosing the sportier diesel in terms of looks, sporty looks diesel engine, or the more elegant looks and the gas engine. So really, it's down to your personal preference na lang on whether you want the gas or diesel. Both are also mild hybrids with 48-volt technology. And yeah, they're also both fitted with 8-speed automatic transmissions, in-house developed by Mazda for the first time. And it's not a torque converter automatic, it has a multi-plate clutch in order to work in low speed. So, very interesting tech, hindi ka naka-torque converter. And again, that's also in-house, yung 8-speed automatic. So, it's really a car that, you know, talagang defies what Mazda as a brand is. No? So, talagang they're doing things differently. They're not following the trend of small engines and downsizing and all. So, really looking forward to drive this car. And now, let's talk about the price of the Mazda CX-60.
So as mentioned, the Mazda CX-60 competes to a degree with the likes of the BMW X3, Lexus NX, Mercedes-Benz GLC, and Audi Q5 just to name a few. But of course, most people probably won't be ready to own a 4 million peso Mazda. And the good news is, the CX-60 won't even reach 3 million pesos. Of course, as with every Mazda, this comes with a 5-year free maintenance program. But now the question is the world ready to accept Mazda as a premium or a luxury brand? That is now up to you guys, the customers, for you to decide.